Hi guys, this is part 2 of the video to go through your individual quiz 1-1 through 1-2 from September 22nd. The first part went over 1 through 3. Now I'm going to go over parts 4 and 5, questions 4 and 5. 4 is a domain and range question. And really, guys, if you're not getting this 4 out of 4, you need to come see me. Okay, we got to get this right. We're going to be using this all year long, and you'll use it next year in pre-calculus. This ordered pair is 1, 2, okay? Domain means X values. So when I go to the left, it actually goes to the left forever and ever and ever. Always left first, then the right, okay? The right ordered pair has 2 numbers, but domain only cares about the X value, so it's negative infinity, 1, okay? Infinity and negative infinity always have parentheses. This is an open circle, so there's a parenthesis there as well. For the range, that's talking about the Y values. Low number first, high number second, okay? That was probably one of the most missed things on domain and range is you flip-flopped your X and Y, or I'm sorry, your low and your high number. So the lowest that this graph goes, it has an arrow, it's going low forever and ever and ever and ever, that is negative infinity. The highest this graph goes is also this point 1, 2, but it's the range, so I only care about the Y value of the high point. I don't care about the X at all when I'm talking about the range. Again, infinities always have parenthesis, open circle, parenthesis. And we learned today in class, parenthesis also comes when you get close to an asymptote, okay? For question number 5, okay, this is mostly, do you know how to handle your calculator and can you be careful when you're graphing? Too many of you kind of just slapped some stuff on the paper and you lost points because it wasn't clear what your points are or your graph was. So remember, if you're doing a fraction, alpha, y equals enter, and a fraction bar pops up for about 90 to 95% of you. Okay, if it doesn't pop up when you do alpha, y equals enter, I'm going to show you the other way to do it. Now I have a 1 on top. I use my down arrow, x minus 2, okay, and it's in the right spot. Some of you put 1 over x minus 2. I'm going to guess that you did 1 divided by x minus 2, but your calculator thinks that that's 1 over x as a fraction and then minus 2 outside the fraction. So if your calculator doesn't do the nice fraction button, you have to do 1 divided by, and everything that's supposed to be in the denominator is in a set of parentheses, okay? That way you get a clear graph using Zoom 6 of what it should look like. Now again, some of you didn't take the time and actually graph the ordered pairs here. You can use your table. You can see that there's an error at x equals 2. I have 2 because I put 2 in. Okay, if I clear this out, it's only going to have 1, but it's the same. So at 2, I have an error. So remember, that means asymptote. Okay, when it says all characteristics of the graph, in the future, if you don't include that asymptote, you're going to get points taken off. Okay, the next thing I would say is pay attention to the easy ordered pairs. 1, negative 1. Okay, 0, negative 1/2. These numbers are not super nice to work with, but if you look, as I go left on the graph, I'm just getting closer and closer and closer and closer to 0. Okay, closer and closer and closer to 0, but never actually touching 0. Okay, when I go down the table, we said 2 is an error, 3 has an ordered pair of 1, 4 has an ordered pair of 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/5. Again, I'm getting close to but never touching 0. Okay, that means there's a second asymptote. Anytime you see, this is called a reciprocal graph or a fraction with an x in the denominator, there are 2 asymptotes. In the future, if you don't include both asymptotes, you will lose points. Now from here, you could have done a couple of things. You could have looked at the graph and seen, okay, we get close to but never touch the asymptote. You could have remembered what we did in class. You could have investigated in the table setting. We could have gone to ask, and we could have tried things that are between 1 and 2, getting to closer to 2. So like 1.5 is at negative 2. 1.5 0.75 is at -4. I don't think I can even squeeze anything else in there, but I can see we're getting close to, but never hitting that asymptote, okay? And then I can also go between 2 and 3, but I still want to get close to 2. So like 2.5 is at 2. 2.25 is at 4. And again, we did this enough in class that we expected you to know to make a graph that looked like that, okay? Again, if you didn't have graph paper, it still needed to be very careful. You needed to very clearly show me that the graph does not cross over the x equals 2 line or the y equals 0 line, and you needed to give me at least 2 nice points, okay?